trying to run as many events as possible. We want to keep you guys full of StarCraft 2 action. So just want to sell out a little bit because it's actually September on Twitch, and there is a deal where if you gift 5 subs, Twitch will give 1 or more subs for free on top of the 5. So if you're feeling generous, if you're loving the tournament, if you've been enjoying the games this week, you want to support, it's a great way to support because it means that, yeah, it's just a deal you don't get probably for the rest of the next year. So make advantage of that if you do so wish. That's my little sell out for the moment. We're going to mention that a few times through the day. I'm kind of obligated to try and make some money for these events, as we do have. In the top left-hand corner, though, time to kick this off with our blue Protoss player. This is Creator. He had a stumble and a fall in the group stage. He did not have a good time getting to the playoffs. He only just made it as he took an additional map off of one of his opponents, and he just snooked in on the map score there with a 1-3 scoreline. He lost to Nico Ract. It just wasn't his day. It wasn't Creator's day at all the other day in their groups, hoping that he comes in today swinging. I've seen him, he's been off hiking today with Bjorn, so maybe a little bit of outdoor time is going to make him play some of his best StarCraft. We can only hope. I'm excited to see what he has to show us as we get him on at the top left of Oceanborn. Bottom right-hand side, the military returnee. Over the last few months, he's been a really fun player to watch. His progress has been fascinating, but he came back really good. He's actually had some really good series. He's still not quite at the level he left us at, but he is really playing great StarCraft 2 again, and that makes every match of his fun to watch because he still has little elements of that absolute greatness, surrounded by like a flood of just very solid gameplay, and then a couple of mismanagement moments of the game as well, but it kind of makes him a very entertaining player to watch if he wasn't already before. It's Rogue in the bottom right corner of the map here as we get Oceanborn up and ready to go. Nexus, Cybercore building up from Creator. My intro is long enough to almost take us to the tech choice of the Protoss, which is where PvZ does obviously take a little bit of an interesting turn typically. So obviously get that Nexus coming through, and it is going to be the Stargate as our tech choice. So immediately a choice which is obviously very normal. It is a best of 5 though, and expect Creator throughout this best of 5 to do a few different things. Wouldn't even be surprised to see Creator open Void Ray. He's one of the players that does enjoy a Void Ray based opening off a Stargate, but expect that to be mixed in with triple Oracle plays, probably Resonating Glaives at some point in this series unless it's a faster 3-0 and he doesn't feel the need to dive into it. This is going to be kind of Creator opening the PvZ playbook. He doesn't have another Zerg really in his section of the bracket either, and hence there's not really anything to hold back for, right? Like, you know, sometimes we're like, well, it may not be another Zerg in this tournament, but there's other tournaments going on. Right now there just isn't, actually, sadly. There's not other tournaments going on. That's why we're doing such a big push to try and raise funds to run as many events as we can. But yeah, he doesn't have anything to hold back for. So like I say, open the playbook, pick anything you want. There's nothing really worth hiding right now. As Paramount came in with a fresh new subscription as well. Thank you so much, mate. Really appreciate it. As a couple of devs come through, a few Lings are going to take a couple of shots there. So some damage are being dealt. The devs are going to turn back away towards the upper left-hand side, pulling away for the moment. I actually lost a couple of probes. So a couple of probes going down as a few Lings fell. And that will be an early few moments that look pretty regular here. I find Inu, he's actually such a good observer while casting. It's actually incredible. But yeah, such a good observer while casting. I always like to steal his cam. It lets me focus a little bit more on the game rather than trying to stare at the minimap, where I honestly fail a lot of the time as well. Oh, Terran Sword with the 20 euros on the YouTube stream. I don't even know what that's called. Is that like a super chat or something? I should really get the notifications aligned from the YouTube onto the channel as well, so if something happens on YouTube, it pops up. Thank you so much for the 20 euros on the YouTube. I freaking appreciate it. YouTube stream, happy face. Yeah, don't worry. We're definitely planning on doing more. I just, I got a little bit lazy with it, like I say. Yeah, I'm a little bit paranoid about putting not the best quality stuff on YouTube, but definitely planning to do more and trying to get excited for more. As we do have our Void coming about. Oracle's going to dive in. I mentioned that Void Ray, man. It's something which Creator does not mind opening up with because it does go through and it does deny Overlords. It allows you to put some interesting pressure on and does hide a lot of your follow-ups. If Creator does this throughout the series, scouting for Rogue is going to be an issue, and then Creator mixing it up into Glaives and stuff like that can 100% become a real big issue for the Zerg player. It's going to become a much more difficult game for him to figure out what's going on, for him to scout, and all of that kind of stuff. And we've seen 5 drones going down, so the harassment is adding up. I think this is going to be one of Rogue's bigger challenges in the game. If you can get through the early game without taking too many hits, and without taking too many economic losses, I think he's going to actually have a really terrifying mid-game. He's still so good running by with units all over the place, making the game extremely active and making it extremely difficult for a Protoss player to really ever feel comfortable. Just like this, there you go, Ling's already getting in, so yes, he's taking some damage across the map, but he's going to get in over here. There's a lot of probes going down, Creator. I mean, he turns to fight it, which I don't disagree with. There's probes in the main base going down too. A few Lings split away there, so it's going to take even longer to defend. Disastrous damage for Creator as 16 probes go down, and Rogue is going to strike, and strike hard. 16 dead workers. Wow, that is absolutely brutal here for Creator as a couple of oracles continue to fly through. A few drones still going down, going to drop a Hydra Den around the back. I mean, okay, at least we got a few more drones. Creator is going to try and keep up, but the thing is, all the damage he's now done is just playing catch-up instead of him taking an edge, taking a lead, just putting himself where a Protoss should be against a Zerg player, and that's a big issue. So Creator is in trouble. Here in game 1, a few Lings slip through. You cannot let that wall be imperfect. You've got to have that set up. So the Depths continue together. Just going to be seeing the Oracles still chilling here as well. We're going to knock down some Creep Humans, get some damage done. And the Oracles have actually been fantastic. They come through again here now. I'm just going to look for another couple of zaps, another couple of drones going down. I mean, it really is these Oracles. If Creator survives in this game, it really has been these Oracles just finding so much damage. The fact they've been able to find so much damage is such a big deal. It's 100% on these Oracles. You know, credit to them. They have been the absolute heroes and champions of this early game for Creator. And once again, Rogue is sitting. I mean, that's 7 more drones lost. He's now lost 21 drones himself in this game. So, again, Rogue was actually fortunate to find that run by because he has not had a good early game at all. He has obviously, you know, it still did slow Creator down, and so he is on his way to Hive and Lurkiden without really being harassed otherwise outside of the Oracles. But man, like I say, it could have been a runaway victory for Rogue if his defense was a little bit better back at home. Instead, it's still an advantage. I think the damage done really does stifle the production and the setup of the Protoss in a big way, and that's something you can't really get over just by doing damage yourself. But it's definitely Creator still kind of hanging on to this game. He's not going to let go of it just yet, and it has been those Oracles to create the handhold. Now we knock down a Zerglin to the side, a Nexus will place here. Creator gets a 4th base up and running for Oceanborn, and, well, a Robo Bay has been established. I'm actually going to see a little bit of a fun combo. A Colossus and a Disruptor on the way at the same time here. There's going to have to be another Warp in behind that Stalker. We will kill the Stalker if the Prism doesn't lift it. Rogue turned around after he actually left it alive. He does kill an Oracle at the same time as the Hydras get revenge for all of those drones that went down throughout the early stages. And I think that's actually both the Oracles dead now, which is a little bit of a shame. All 3 Oracles have indeed died. A little sad because, like I say, it does mean that now you don't have stable detection against those Lurkers. In fact, we have no detection against the Lurkers. We do not currently have an Observer. We're sending full Colossus production on the Robo facilities. And like I say, even beyond that, having an Oracle is really nice because if you drop a Revelation, you know those Lurkers aren't going to disappear if your Observer gets sniped. You have a guaranteed window in which you can see those Lurkers burrowed and you can fight them. So it's usually really nice to actually have an Oracle on the map, losing them. But all the damage they did, yes, they did great. But it's actually a different stage of the game now where I think if he'd lost those even earlier, he wouldn't have been surprised to see one rebuilt. Surely Creator gets some sort of detection up here soon because those Lurkers are powering up. Uh-oh. Prism is going to be found here. The Hydras are going to see it. Rogue doesn't really see it in time. Okay, he does just about turn around with everything to get the pick off in the end, noticing at the last second what was going on. Observer coming up, so Creator will have some detection, but like I say, if that dies in the fight for some reason, then that can still create issues. There's not anything that's really going to be great at sniping Observers, obviously just the Hydras, but are the Hydras going to get forward enough to snipe the Obs? I guess that depends where the Observer is positioned, right? So if it goes floating forwards in the fight, it could end up in a bad spot, so things to think on. As Storm comes up, extended thermal lance and +2 attack all coming up as well. Going to be seeing the army of Creator still settling as we knock down a Creep Tumor or 2. Again, Storm on the way, Thermal Lance coming up, +2 attack coming by. The Nexus and the Immortals still building here on the side of Creator, just bringing all of those into play. As our Lings now Lurk is going to get across here, going to get those burrowed up. Cannon's going to start taking some hefty damage. We're just going to be seeing the Colossus coming down this ramp. A couple of disruptor shots there. Going to hit those lurkers a little bit as well. Now having Ling Hydra latching onto that Nexus and really dealing some damage. It's going to go down, so Nexus will fall. A few Lings jumping onto the probes. Hydra's knocked down a Void Ray as we go. There's a lot of probes dying, so Rogue's already succeeding there, and his defense at home is looking great. He's going to have lurkers actually coming in for full surround. Frost Army's going to have to escape out the right-hand side, so the north and the south angles are covered. The east is an escape, but yeah, Creator's not going to have enough there. Has to type out GG, and Rogue is going to net himself Game 1 victory. No scheduling requests. Oh, their scheduling requests aligned. It was amazing. As a tournament organizer, this was a thing of beauty. I'm actually sad I didn't stream it to explain just how great it was. Like, as I rolled the players, because I randomized the players' names to kind of figure out the order they drop into the bracket. There's a couple of certain rules that mean that certain people can't play certain people until later, so there's, once the first 4 are randomized, it's already set a little bit what else can happen. But man, every time I rolled names to kind of determine, who goes on this position and who goes on that position, I was just like, oh my god, it's perfect! It just works so well. So that's been, that was pretty awesome. Just me geeking out over scheduling, don't mind me, guys. Bottom right side, Rogue is our red Zerg player. He takes on Creator in the top left, our blue Protoss. What's up, SM Hen in the YouTube chat? Love you, Wardy. Thank you for all you do. Thank you so much for the kind words, mate. Thanks for joining us on the YouTube stream today. Appreciate it. If you are over on the YouTube, or even if you're in the Twitch and you just want to find a cheap, easy, completely free way, never mind cheap, to support, you can head on over to the YouTube stream. Drop a quick little like on the YouTube channel video on the live stream. That will tell the algorithm that, hey, people like this stuff. So then it's going to send it to more people. And if it sends it to more people end up watching StarCraft, and we get to run more of these events in the future. So a great way to support if you're over on that YouTube already. Right, okay, I feel like I'm on 100 miles an hour. I probably need to slow it down a little bit. I'm coming into today pretty hyped. I need to kind of slow it down a little bit, because today could be a grind. 6 best of 5s absolutely has the potential to go long. We don't want to run out of energy halfway through, so maybe we should chill a little. It's been a long week as well. I mean, we have been live every day since Monday, and we are obviously going to be live today, tomorrow, Monday as well. WardiTV Mondays. In case you're not aware, we're currently filling in the lacking ESL Open Cups, as they are on pause indefinitely until we hear more about a circuit. But we got very used to doing our little Open Cup on a Monday, so we have been putting the WardiTV Mondays on along the side some of the community, Winter Loco, and OSC. So we'll be live on Monday for that as well. Been having some great participants and actually some really fun matches where there's been a few upsets as well. They've been really good cups. So excited to be back on Monday for that as well. I'll finally be taking a day off again on Tuesday. So love the geeking out over scheduling. It's the little things in life, and it's just like I just always like to try and help the players out. The players are usually pretty good to me, right? Sometimes I think they're a pain in my ass, but a lot of the time they're pretty good, and their requests aren't ridiculous. They're like, can I play last? Or hey, Saturday is really tough for me. Like, if I'm only going to play one match on Saturday, can I just shove it to Sunday? Like, is that possible? Like, and not everyone requests it all the time, right? Sometimes things just going on, and obviously we wanted to make it easy for the players to play in, because if we make it easy for them to play, and if we keep them happy, they come and play more tournaments, right? So I'm always like trying to do my best, and sometimes I gotta come back like, man, I'm sorry, it's just not possible, and whatever, and it always sucks. And this time it's just like everything worked. Everyone just got exactly what they wanted. Incredible stuff. Honestly, it makes me so happy. Dark Shrine coming in. I mentioned that Correa's going to have to open the full playbook here against Rogue, and there's no reason not to, because he's unlikely to play another Zerg in this event. The only other Zerg he could play would be Shin in the Grand Finals. He's on the completely other side of the bracket, so that would obviously be not an impossibility, but Correa has to go all the way first. Shin would have to go all the way. So there's not really much reason to kind of keep back with your Zerg build order or your versus Zerg build orders here. You may as well unleash those onto the world. As you do have a few gates coming up, the Dark Shrine as well. It's going to be 4 gates, so we can get a few DTs in. That turns into an Archon drop once you're done harassing with the Dark Templar. And that's going to be how you maintain map control throughout the early stages of the game. So that's going to be the plan from Creator. We can see exactly where he is going to. It's a little bit of an older school style. It's not something that everybody loves doing anymore. A lot of people just don't think it's that good of a build where you can kind of have a good time with the DTs, and it just doesn't really give you that much of a lead anyway, because the Zergs can be very greedy against this to some extent, and that kind of undoes a lot of the work you do. Let's just see, that Dark Shrine is going to be finishing. So we'll see what Creator can do with it. The Dark Shrine is done. The Prism's moving into position. Warpin should be ready to go in a second. First Spore Crawler coming up. Of course, Spores are going to be essential here. I say first is actually the third. So we're going to have one Spore on each base. And there are our 4 Dark Templar making their way into the main. They're going to split 2 and 2, but there's a Spore in reach there. And actually, Spore in reach everywhere. We're going to get the Queens to hit some damage onto the Prism as well. 1 DT fell. That was a disaster for Creator. That is not what he was looking for in the early stages, as that is going to be a complete fall apart for him. As he's going to recall the Prism, the Archon, the DT back. I'm not sure if he really needed to recall the units there. I'm not sure what he thought was happening, or if he thought... I mean, I can only assume he felt as though he was under some pressure, but... I mean, we could very much see that he just wasn't under pressure, so... Alright. Well... Moving through, just going to be having an Archon coming on in. We have ourselves the Immortal, the Sentry, Charge, building up as well. A little bit of everything currently being added on in here. Prism comes down to the bottom side. A couple of Archons inside are going to try and get a move along, see what they can do. And just going to start getting the Cryptos. Yeah, I don't really feel like he needed the recall at all, but... yeah. Archons will continue to fight. When Queen goes down, the Archon's still fighting. Queen's still taking some shots. Roche is going to be there. Drone's mining it up. Forge on the way. Immortal Charge coming through as well. Archon's going about, just going to get some more of that creep spread. Just going to be seeing the Ravage and the Roach is still gathering up. So we're going to take a few shots as well. Protection on that, and is going to just get pushed back. Here's the thing, I mean, Creator has not really, like I say, slowed Rogue down at all. These DTs have kind of floundered. The Archons have a Queen or so. I mean, a Queen and 8 Lings, couple of Overlords. It's just not that great, right? Mortal Sentries are going to come around. The Prism on the right side hanging about as well. Hive continues up. A few Hydras on the way. +1 missiles. Groove Spines coming up. A couple of Archons will fight. Just going to be seeing those Roaches taking some shots. And +1 missiles and Groove Spines coming in as well. Still got the Hive coming online. The Hydra Den pumping out a few Hydras. The Lings also continuing in production currently. As Gates and the Fleet Beacon coming in. +1 attack coming in on the Forge as well. Just going to be seeing the team continue to move around. We see our Nexus coming through at the front as well. Just get that on the go. Hallucination gets knocked. A couple carriers on the way. Mothership building as well. +1 attack. The air weapons coming in also. You see the Ling Roach coming through. Just gathering as well. Still got ourselves a couple carriers, like I say. Creator just attacking straight into the air attack. Not taking any slowdown at all. A couple of hallucinations going to get caught. Whoa, this army getting caught on the left side. He has to recall in desperation. It's getting a little bit messy for Creator, just losing units here and there, and I mean, I guess he's kind of getting away with the carrier switch, though. You see those Immortals gathering up. The few Zealots and the Archon continue to gather in. Carriers still producing through. Storm coming up. +2 out. Attack on the ground. I mean, there's a Spire from Rogue. He will start again, answer to the carriers. That's a big step in the right direction for him. Being able to deal with those carriers is obviously one of the main priorities at the moment. Storm +2 attack still on the way. +2 air weapons coming up as well. Carrier's just going to get rid of an Overseer nice and quick. You can see how Ling's going to wrap around. A couple of those Zealots begin to drop immediately. Ling, Roach, Hydra, Lurker moving up this ramp. I'm just going to be getting straight on in. Cannon gets picked off right there. Interceptors flying through. The Zealots are just chilling. Carriers are just an issue. You got to get yourself some Corruptors up to deal with that. Now, this was good because we got rid of a base, we got rid of 16 probes, and now we can get Corruptors up to deal with the carriers on a follow-up to that. So I think that's going to be kind of alright, to be honest. I think it's going to be pretty okay as our units continue up the left-hand side. Carriers are going to come across. Mothership gathering. Zealot Immortal joining. Lurker's just going to pop up for the moment. The Overseers and the Overlords continue to move onto the map. A lot of Corruptors continue to come through. +1 flyer attack is coming in. Just going to see the extra Spore Crawlers coming in as well. Simple Stalker just going to go poking at the Overlord and the army coming up to the top here. Ling, Roach, Hydra starting to run through. A couple of Zealots are taking damage. Shots coming out. Just going to be having the cannons continue to fire back as well. Like they're going to chill on the side. Interceptors putting some work out. Roach, Hydra, Lurker pushing back for the moment. Lurker. I'm just going to stay on that left-hand side as well, trying to keep those bases from coming back. The thing from Creator is that anytime he's moved on the map, it's been really not good for him, right? Every time he moves out, it's been a little bit bad. And so Rogue is getting away with, I mean, expanding bottom left, expanding far right side, creep still, you know, sitting strong up through the middle. And these are all things that are just going to be concerns for Creator going on. If he doesn't start doing something about them soon, then he's going to be in trouble, plain and simple. And the army from Creator on the right-hand side still on the move. Archons, Mortals, Carriers all pressing forward. Those Lurkers going to move up, and Lurker on the other side putting some damage in as well. So we've seen a Storm or two coming down. Roaches, Hydras. Oh my goodness, this is wild because the Storms are coming down on top of the Corruptors. They kind of have to. The Corruptors are going to get rid of the Carriers. Creator's supply is dropping heavily, but so is Rogues. A few Lurkers standing strong at the end. Are they going to be enough? Do we actually get rid of the last Carrier? I think we've got to commit for it. The Corruptors do. They get it. A couple Lurkers left here. Rogue has 50 Lings and 20 Hydras on the production tab. That should be enough to close this out, because I don't think there's ever an army here from Creator which is going to be looking good there. He's taking probe damage. There's Nidus coming up in his main base. There are issues he does not have supply to deal with, especially when this army is going to get dealt with right now. No recall coming through, and Rogue is going to storm forwards to a 2-0 lead in this best of 5. Rogue off to a fantastic start here in the early stages, and he's really been capitalizing on those good positions by playing real good solid StarCraft, creating opportunities for himself, taking every inch that he gets from it. In the bottom right side of our map with a very well deserved 2-0 lead, our blue Zerg player is Rogue. Top left, our red Protoss, Creator, looking to bring this back and get back on track. Have I got a cat or a dog? Yeah, I've got a dog. You can probably see all the hair on me. She's been wrestling me this morning. The black hoodie does no favors with the golden retriever. I can tell you that much. The thing is, I would make an effort to get it all off, but I know fine well she's going to come jump on me in a break or something, and then it's just going to be there again, so... Such is life, I live in her. Such is life. Alright, we got going on side Delta then. Game number 3 again. Thank you for that donation on the YouTube. Again, I will say this quite a few times today, guys, so I apologize if you're going to get bored of hearing it, but it is September on Twitch, and the best deal of the month is here. If you give 5 subs on Twitch, Twitch will add at least 1 gifted sub for free to that, so if you give 5, you will guaranteed give 6. Yesterday, someone gifted 5, and Twitch added 3 extra for free, so it's a fantastic time to spread some love in the chat and give some subs, support the channel. Again, our focus right now is raising some money to put on as much StarCraft 2 as possible to fund tournaments. I'm already looking into running it. I looked at the schedule. It's very empty next week, so I'm already looking to try and run something next week over the next couple of weeks so we can have even more games and just stay alive. Pretty much, I mean, the goal is to really be live kind of every day. There's a couple of days I'm going to be taking off here and there, but like the goal is to just be live. We want to put out StarCraft 2 for you guys. We want to give you guys constantly something to watch, so... That's what we're trying to do. That's what we're aiming for. Again, we do that with the help of you guys. If you can't afford a sub, or if you've got a Prime sub available or anything, it's always greatly appreciated. Will Ellie make an appearance during the cast today? If she shows up, probably when I get food. I probably get some food in like a couple of hours, and she'll probably sit and stare at me. We'll put her on the stream during food times. It's actually really good if I put her on the stream when I've got food, because she actually sits very still and just stares. So it looks like she's just interested in the stream, but really she's just drooling over the fact that she might get a teeny piece of bread or something. Always a good trick. Couple of Lings moving away, the Adept coming across, the Warp Gate Stalker, Stargate coming by as well. Okay, Steel 88, thank you so much for the resub on the Prime, coming in for 8 months. Hell yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I could probably summon Ellie right now if I rustled, like, I've got an empty packet of crisps on the side. If I rustled that, she'd probably show up in an instant, but I don't want to bait her. Helen's out, so she's probably just sleeping downstairs, chilling. I don't want to disturb her. Later, though, she'll definitely be here, I'm sure. Alright, this game has not been super interesting to talk about early. It's actually one of the most standard games we've seen so far, right? Simply for the fact it is just going to be Oracles off the bat, no Void Ray, no Dark Shrine. Creator's build is very much so the bread and butter of PvZ. And Rogue's not doing anything himself to make us kind of gasp in awe or kind of wonder what the heck the plan is. This really is plain and simple at the moment, right? Just plain simple, no reason to kind of make it too interesting. Very normal StarCraft 2. And both these players seem to be very happy just getting set up into some very normal StarCraft 2. So away we go with that. As a couple queens come up, that Roadtron's going to be about halfway done as well. The Overlord coming in, a few additional drones coming by. A couple of creep tumors coming up on the side of Rogue. So getting those creep tumors up and running. The Oracle's also in production. Adepts just shading by as the Oracle's overhead. The Adepts coming with them. Heading down to the bottom right at the moment. Again, Twilight Council and Forge both building. The Oracle's finishing up. 2 Spore Crawls on the way from Rogue. And the Lings and the drones will produce along with that as well. The Oracle's going to actually attempt to go for a Queen here. No transfusion available. That's a good kill. Easy kill. Barely even loses much more than shields on the first Oracle. So, yeah, grabs a Queen super early on. But that is a very solid way to get things underway. It's just going to fight. Oracle's going to take some damage. It's going to be seeing the +1 blink still coming through. Again, the ladder's on the way up. The drones are still coming by. Yeah, a few drones went down so far. Just going to be seeing the, again, +1 blink both continuing to produce. And Nexus will be building on the 3rd base. Our gateway is coming by. The robotics facility coming online. Double creep demons, extractors coming up as well. The Oracle is going to keep on moving as we come around down the bottom side there. The Queen is coming up. The drone's on the way. Extractors coming by as well. Chilling for the moment. Really, very chilled. Obviously, not a lot happening. The first game we had that run by, in the second game we had the DTs and Archons harassing. This really is probably the most standard that we've seen it so far. Gonna see that last finishing up as well. A couple queens are gonna be there. The Oracle taking a shot once more. Let me see now. +1 on Blink continuing through. The Obs and the Cannon coming up as well. A few Stalkers coming through. The Roach Speed and the +1 Missiles coming up. We actually have an Infestation Pit and a Hydra Den on the way too, so just continue to bring that out. The Spore Crawler being brought in. Just going to see +1 Blink both coming through for the moment. Getting that going. Yeah, continue to move around a little bit. He's just going to get on top of this hatchery already. A few lings start to go down. In fact, quite a lot of lings going down, so pretty successful start here from Creator, who is going to bunch through. This push is looking very good for him. I mean, talking about a very uninteresting game, but it has just been Creator setting up well. And I think one thing that Creator's done extremely well, actually, is he's put himself in this kind of position where because he's kind of just not done much, he's just been very focused on building up. And when he does attack, it's with that very powerful timing. And I think Rogue's almost been lured into this false sense of security of, hey, I can just tech, hive, lurk, den. It's a little bit greedy. And that's what he got away with in the first games because he got advantages. He defended well, had a lead. He did a good draw. He did a good run by, had a lead. This time, the aggression from Creator, I think, is catching Rogue a little off guard. Oh, we're about to have a lurker den. Realistically, we have no Hydras on the field, so it's not like we're about to just pop out a couple lurkers and defend against this. It is going to be a great follow-up if Rogue survives, which is, again, our big question mark right now. He's keeping this hatch alive. A couple Corrosive Vials continuing to try and zone for the moment. Stalker's coming through again. A couple of Ravages will take some damage. Corrosive Vials, Stalker still taking shots, damage being done. So you see now Roach Ravager are going to continue to hit, and a couple more Corrosive Vials. Ooh, just going to get dodged there as the Stalkers blink back once more. Silex Spines is halfway done currently, so we are genuinely on our way to those lurkers. Rogue has continued to hold, but the supply is waning, and this is going to be the moment where Creator is going to break on through. As we are going to get rid of a couple of Overlords, supply block city for Rogue. Stalker's going to get rid of this hatchery as well, and as that hatchery falls, this is going to be Rogue in trouble. It is going to be Creator making a bounce back in this best of 5. He's going to stand up and fight back, which is fantastic to see. Stalker's going to keep on coming through. A couple of Ravagers getting cancelled up. Our Queens and our Roaches moving around as well. So just going to have the Overlords also on the move at the moment here, just trying to see what's else going on. Trying to see a lurker just being added in, a few more Lings coming up. Roach, Ling, Ravager continue to push. The Stalker's going to take some more shots. The Oracle's getting shoved away for a little bit as well. It's just going to pull back a few more units there. The Oracle's really desperate. Is going to get through. Is going to pick off a single Ravager. Now he's going to be seeing a couple more Corrosive Vials still coming down as well. Drones are going to get pulled. This is obviously unholdable at this point for Rogue. Trying his best, trying to hold on. Would have loved to just basically be able to finish this series here, but he's going to be forced to play a map number 4 as Creator comes through strong on side Delta. Like I say, Rogue being a bit greedy, Creator just waiting for the one big attack. Still Rogue trying to pull drones and roaches to try and fend this off. Process what just happened here, figure out what he's maybe going to switch up for the next game as well. As our Stalkers continue to come through and just pick away at anything, everything. Subs coming again. Gonna grab a lurker at the end. Gonna get another lurker. Roach is taking damage. Drone still taking shots. GG's. And Creator is indeed gonna take game number 3, so we are back on track for our Protoss player. Alright, back on track for the Protoss player. And we are gonna have in the top left-hand corner of the map the blue Zerg player. This is Rogue. Taking on the red Protoss in the bottom left corner of the map, we are going to have Creator. Game 4 of our best of 5 Amphion in itself is just a pretty fun map. I mean, this map alone is very interesting, fun layout, definitely introduces a whole lot of different possibilities when it comes to ways in which you can expand and all the rest. It's going to be having the hatch coming through, the overlord is coming in, again the gate and the gas coming up alongside that as well. For these early stages, away we go. Probe nibbling up, obviously going to try and throw a few drones off their mining patterns. Nothing too major just yet, though. We're pretty chill right now, just getting set and settled to see where we're going to go. Couple finishes from Rogue. He has not started mining gas, he's only just now putting a worker into that extractor, so gonna be a little setup starting up there. As we do have Nexus and the Seb Corp continue to come about, a couple queens and the Lings all coming through as well, so all of that on the way. Nexus still building on the natural. Adept Corona boosting here from Creator as well. The Stargate coming up. Get that started. A couple Lings gonna go after the probe as well, gonna try and nibble for as much as they can. Yo, Two-Fish TV, I'm gonna drop the 5 gifted subs. And that's what we've been talking about. 5 gifted subs and Twitch adds 1 free. Thanks so much for essentially gifting 6. Going out to Prelisk, Tyson C82, Ella Tindra, Jabochi, Ruff, Geo, what's the name? And Clem is Love. Thanks so much, Two-Fish TV, taking advantage of the September deal. Making Twitch pay extra gifty subs. Thanks so much, mate. Really appreciate the support. Thank you for helping the channel out, helping the tournaments out. Old Queen's still hanging around. We do have the Oracle out. It's going to be into that Voidry again from Creator, looking to go Overlord hunting, looking to deny information. Last time he did this, he didn't really do anything too crazy on the follow-up. There wasn't really kind of some wild twist kind of mixed into this or anything. Wondering if this time around he maybe does throw down a Twilight Council quickly and maybe go into Glaives or something along those lines, right? Definitely feels like something along those lines could be a cool possibility, perhaps. So maybe something to look for. As yo, SNT, thank you so much for the 4-month resub. Welcome back. Dropping that Wardy Hypers and the Wardy Bomb in there as well. Love to see it. Thank you so much for the resubscription. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us for some games today. Queen's moving through. The Nexus, the Oracle, all coming about as well. A couple of assimilators continue to build on the side of Creator. So again, all of that up and running. Well, Adeptus is going to come through. Creep is not quite Gonna get to take a shot there. Yesterday, someone gifted back to Warcraft 5 subs, and Twitch gifted an extra 15. Wow. We got an extra 3 one time yesterday. Guys, I'm not... I'm just saying. I was about to go very sellout mode, and I was like, I don't know if that's too sellout. I was like, I'm just saying, you know, like, we need to get some of these big gifted sub freebies on our channel too. Yay. That's crazy. They didn't even mention that was going to be a thing. They literally said like it was going to be 1 gifted sub extra per 5 gifted, but then apparently there's just extra bonuses going around all over as well. That is wild. I was saying yesterday, it's almost like a loot box. It's like you're guaranteed 1 free gifted sub, but if you buy a loot box of 5 gifted subs, you might unlock 3 or 5 extra gifted subs. Who knows? That's crazy. All right, Prism coming up. Twilight Council on the way. A couple of additional gates coming about. The probes are on the way in from Creator as well. So all of that's coming through as the Queens are going to get there. Just going to push the Void Ray back for a little bit. The couple of Oracles continue to move through as well. As the Void Ray will chill and will just be continuing to hunt again. Pushing those Overlords back to 9. That information. But Creator just on his way up to the Twilight for the charge. And into the Temple Archives for the Archons. The charge on Archon, the composition to end up on. He's going to get back to killing a few of those drones. He was really good at killing the drones and harassing in the early stages of Game 1, remember? It was the Ling run-by that really killed him in that game, and that really turned things all around for him. As the Rotron and the Spire both continuing through. Oracle's activating, 5 drones going down. Now going to jump onto the Extractor for a couple of moments as well. Going to be seeing the Oracle still hanging about there. The few probes continue to come by. The Oracles move through once again. Rogue on his way to that Spire. Looking to try and get there for the moment as the Lings come about. A couple of Depths going to get shading back. Probe is going to get a little pick off. Let's keep on moving about. The Depth comes back a little bit. I'm going to fight. A couple of Roaches start to go down. Nice bit of harass from Creator's Rogue. A little bit struggling in the supply counts, right? 105 to 105 is not great here for our Zerg. The Prism will live as well, so the Archons will be able to escape out of here. And yeah, not bad at all. Creator having a good time in these early stages. Resources lost 1.7k to 775, which is very much so in favor of our Protoss. However, Rogue is now going to spend 1,000 gas on Mutalisks, and all of a sudden you have a bunch of Mutas on the way, and that could always be a turning point in this game. I mean, especially if the Prism doesn't realize it, and the Prism goes down very quickly, for example, and you lose out on that. It's very possible that this goes very wrong very soon. So, yeah, he does not know, otherwise he would have been able to start up a Phoenix as well. So, yeah, he's definitely blind to it. I guess the question is, Rogue, he's just flying across the map. Creator's just going to recall the Archons. I think he did see it with the units on the left side. As the Mutas are going to show up and go straight towards the main. Okay, there is a cannon. That is genuinely a help. That is a good first step towards dealing with this. So, definitely a first initial step in the right direction. A couple of gates still coming up. The Immortals still coming through. These Mutas are going to try and find some damage on Immortals. The Immortals almost run towards the Mutalisks. I guess they were running toward the battery, but it looked like they were kind of giving the Mutas an even easier time of getting damage done. He's going to come through again. We see the pylon goes down, the gateway going to get hit. Just going to see a couple of Archons coming over too. Things, Roaches opening up those rocks. Just going to be seeing the Mutas trying to find whatever they can, but so far it's been pretty good defense. We've really limited damage being taken from these Mutalisks, right? And maybe now we finally get the Mutas to actually make a big pickoff, getting an Immortal, maybe getting 2. That's much nicer than what we've seen so far, too. 1 Immortal and a Phoenix. I think Roach now gathering up as Rogue's plan is going to be to keep causing chaos and keep looking to take big fights. So Sword pops, just going to see a few Lings caught, the army coming back across. Predator has been great so far defensively, but it does not mean he is out of the woods. He's going to lose his Stargate, so no more Phoenix production is actually a little scary, especially when Rogue is doubling down on more and more Mutalisks. If this was, 10 meters and then back away, you know, whatever, a few Phoenix is fine, but actually this is a scenario where I think a second Stargate would have been a called for Creator, and we wouldn't have really kind of hated that at all. I think we would have loved a second Stargate and even more Phoenix, especially as the Phoenix keep going down. Ling Roach in the natural. We're going to dive here. The Mutas are going to commit. These Archons will go down quickly. The splash damage is going to disappear. There's another Archon here. We can jump on. Prism will micro it. As we get rid of the Prism, we get rid of the Archon. Now we're going to start diving on these Stalkers. Creator in some trouble because there's Ling Roach still on his natural, picking away at some of the units that are on their way to try and help against all of this. Super Battery will be a target here as well. We knock that down. We turn around, maybe get a few more probes, another Stalker. Any unit you're grabbing right now is great. The cannon will go down, weakening this position for future engagements. Void Ray goes down, another Archon we're going to go on to, man. We're taking a lot of splash on these Mutas, but they are still alive and somewhat healthy. I mean, Ling's over here. I'm going to get a few more kills. Actually going to start killing off those Immortals would be huge. Yeah, Kreia trying to go across the map, but it's just not really working. It looks like Rogue has caused enough chaos in this game as the stream of Lings is eventually going to more or less clean this up. There's a couple units left over. Still an Archon here getting picked off again. We just don't have enough anti-air ever being made or added on. That one Phoenix is likely going to go down here as well. That was some of the only consistent damage we had left. Well, I was going to say the Zealots might be an issue, but obviously Mutas will deal with Zealots eventually as Rogue is going to take it. Game 4 is his. 3-1 victory, and Rogue